Live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the Masai Mara. It's 6 a.m. These 5 cheetah are sleeping now, but I am confident as soon as dawn breaks, they're going to be up and on the hunt. This is Safari Live.
Ready, go. Thousands of wildebeest are coming across this river. This is why we came to this area, to tell the story of the migration.
Buffalo bull charging straight at the hyenas. Now the whole herd's coming.
Look at the crocodile coming after them. If you ever had any doubt as to who the real royalty of the wilderness is, well, now you've had that cleared up for you. Here's a lion. There's a lion right next to us. Oh, my goodness. That one's down. That is unbelievable. Karen Blixen said, you know you're alive when you're living amongst lions, and that's where we hope to take you very shortly. Good morning, and welcome back to southwest Kenya for the second installment of nature's greatest saga, the wildebeest migration. We're coming to you live from the Masai Mara, where the dawn is about to explode into 1,000 colours, abundant wildlife. Epic drama, perhaps a little romance, and with any luck, a pinch of humour. My name is James Hendry. In the face of these 5 fearsome cheetah, this Thompson's gazelle mother was forced to give up on her fawn. The cats, supposedly diurnal but confounding convention here, seemed totally disinterested in eating, their bellies already full with 2 young wildebeest. Not so the ever-opportunistic and scruffy hyena, who, after some unusual resistance from the biggest cheetah, made off with the hapless fawn. Now we're going to hand you straight back to Scott and those cheetah and hope that they go hunting soon.
Well, welcome back. My name is Scott, and it's a great pleasure to have you with myself, Jean-Andre, on camera, and these 5 killing machines that are sitting in pitch darkness just a few meters from our vehicle. Now, check this out. As Jean-Andre turns on the infrared lights, you can see these cheetah become illuminated, and they have no idea that there's any lights on them. Neither do either of their prey species, nor any other predators. So we are not giving away their location. And these infrared lights have allowed us some really interesting insight into these animals' lives. The fact that they made a kill early yesterday morning before it was even light is some very interesting behavior. And who knows, maybe this morning we will be lucky again. As you can see, their heads are up. They are listening to a multitude of prey around them. The migration is not too far from here, at least portions thereof, and we can hear the canoes calling in the not too far distance. And their favorite prey is wildebeest. Even though they will take whatever opportunities arise, they have become masters in taking down wildebeest, and the fact that there are 5 of them makes them an incredibly formidable coalition. I mean, just the fact that yesterday they made 2 kills within about 2 hours of one another is testament to the fact that these guys know what they are doing. Now, some good signs here. The fact that they are grooming themselves, they have their heads up, means that they could get up and active at any moment. Interesting questions just come through from Cats in Tampa. Great to have our first question in. And you would like to know, how old will cheetah be when they can start reaching top speeds? I would guess somewhere around 2 to 3 years of age will be when they start actively getting to their highest possible speeds of up to 60 miles an hour and upwards thereof, the fastest mammal on the planet. And who knows, in the next couple of hours, we may see them displaying this incredible speed. Good stuff. Well, we're going to send you back up to the migration control with James, and be sure to keep you updated as soon as these boys get on the move.
Poor old Scott is sitting there in the darkness, but very soon it will be a blaze of dawn Mara colours, and then we're going to take to the air in a hot air balloon. We'll plummet down towards the river to some of the traditional crossing points where we'll see some crocodiles and hippo, and if we're very lucky, one of the migration herds might take the inevitable plunge. But Much of the action, of course, happens at night. And we use a sophisticated array of technical wizardry to make sure that we do not affect animals' behavior. We use FLIR thermal cameras and infrared. Take a look at what Brent had to see last night. There we go. You can see 2 lions on the hunt there, chasing a migratory herd of wildebeest. And he is now sitting with those lions. They were successful after this, and we'll go to him now.
Well, it was an absolutely incredible night, and this technology does give us the chance to see some amazing things. The heat signatures of animals, the hunts, the infrared, and we're sitting in the almost pitch black right now, and you can see there's a little bit of light on the eastern horizon, and here we now are on the FLIR, and you can see it is absolutely incredible. And you can see that heat exuding off their bodies. Now, one of the most amazing things for me is you notice as lions eat, their tummies get warmer and warmer. So you can see that hot spot on their tummies. And of course, digestion causes heat, and it makes it get warmer and warmer. So our lions did their hunting about an hour ago. We've been with them since 11 o'clock last night. Remember, this is 100% live, coming to you from the magnificence that is the Masai Mara in Kenya. And remember, if you want to ask us any questions about this amazing place, you can do so by using the hashtag Safari Live. So we've got 2 adult lionesses here and a young male. So we've got the adult lioness on the right feeding, young male on the left, and they've caught a nice big wildebeest. So there is a third lioness lying off in the grass, but this will be a really good meal for them.
The lion. Hello everybody, sorry about that, we're just going to quickly kill some sound. We are of course in the middle of the African wilderness, which means that there are inevitable technical glitches. Don't worry, everything is fine. We will take you back to the lions and the cheetah and indeed some more lions very shortly. Now, last week you met the lionesses of the Angama Pride and their cubs. They live up here in the Northern Triangle. There are 4 lionesses, there they are there, and they have got 10 cubs, well ranging between the ages of 2 and 6 months. And then, under the light of the full Mara moon, not too long ago, we found another 3. But then, just after that, 2 suddenly were out of the sort of gully there, and 1 was left behind, mewling horribly. And it was a really heart-wrenching scene. Why this mother, in her leonine parental wisdom, didn't pick the cub up and take it out to join the siblings, we're really not sure. And maybe the cub was injured. It could easily have been sort of nutritionally deficient or something. But then, as light broke 2 days later, we had a wonderful scene. As 1, and then 2, and then 3 wonderful cubs emerged. So as the bard said, all's well that ends well. Now, she has a name, the mother of the cubs, and it is a very unromantic name. It is Angama female number 3. We felt that was inappropriate for such a wonderful lioness. And so last week we asked you to pick some names in Swahili. Here they are: Sarabi, which means mirage; Tamu, which means sweet; Jelani, which means mighty. Those are the 3 names. You've been voting all week on them, and you've got 2 more hours now to vote on the names, and then we're going to assign it to that beautiful lioness over there. She's got a very distinctive notch on her left ear. So the way you vote now is to go to Twitter, hashtag Safari Live, and then hashtag the name of the lion name you want: Sarabi, Tamu, and Jelani. Right, we're going to head back out to the field now to Jamie Patterson, who, well, I think exhibits many of the same qualities as that lioness over there.
How very kind of you, James. And in return, I've just been thinking about whether the migration embodies comedy, adventure, or tragedy. And I think our lionesses tonight have provided us with all 3 aspects of those things. A very good morning to all of you, and welcome. My name is Jamie. This morning, Dave is on camera with me. Let's go over to Brent. Something's happening.
Well, you never know what's going to happen. This is live. There's a big male lion that's just arrived. He could be from a different pride. And there's this nervousness as he's approaching. There could be a fight. He looks really, really hungry. There the lioness is just there. Now they...
Right, hello everybody. I'm just going to give you a little map introduction as to where we are. I'm sorry about that. Brent is in a slightly dodgy area. I think we'll probably have to move him out very soon. Can you reach up there, Fergus? Are you able to get a view of the map? Not so well. Okay, now what we have here is a 370,000 acre wilderness, wonderful area, and I'm going to give you a lay of where everybody is. Scott is sitting over here with his cheetah, and they're being harassed by a hyena. We'll give him a vehicle there. Well, it's appropriate that he has a vehicle. Jamie is down here on the river, quite close by. She's got a number of lions with her. Some sub-adults, so we'll call them that, and then she's over here. And then Brent Leo Smith is knocking about in what we call, well, the valley of the shadow of Signal. And he's over here with two lionesses. We'll take that one there. We'll put her over there. And they, of course, have killed a wildebeest. This is a dead wildebeest, as you can see. There is nothing going on at the moment on the northern side, and so we'll keep you posted on what's happening there. We're going to take to the air, like I say, very soon. Hashtag Safari Live. Any questions you have? Let's go back to Jamie.
Right, let's try that once again, because I'm just dying to tell you the story of the thrilling evening that we had. But that's the way that things go out here. Nothing ever goes according to plan. Dave and I have had such an adventure. We've been up all night with these lionesses, members of the Purungut Pride, and we're sitting, as I said, on the banks of the Mara River. And during the course of the evening, we've watched these lionesses hunt wildebeest, zebra. They caught a zebra. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of that on camera because, well, we were busy avoiding the imminent sort of arrival of a couple of hundred panicked wildebeest in our direction, so we had to duck out of the way relatively quickly. But the whole drama unfolded because the lionesses, poor things, caught a zebra and then promptly had it stolen by the two notch males that are the dominant male members of this area, so the dominant coalition of this area. And they came in and ate the lioness's zebra, and that was that. And the poor lionesses, despite their best efforts, didn't manage to really get one single bite, which means this morning they are still very, very hungry and still on a search for something to feed on. Which brings us beautifully to Dakota's question. Dakota, thank you for sending through your question. Dakota, you want to know how much a lion will eat, or how often and how much will they eat in a day. On average, they will eat around about every 2 to 3 days. However, during the migration, which is of course the spectacle that we're right in the middle of, they can potentially kill and eat every single day, and up to 5% even more of their body weight. And those male lions polished off an entire baby zebra. That's easily, I would say, around 80 pounds of meat that they ate between the two of them, with the 3 cubs of the Purungut Pride being allowed a mouthful every now and again. Generally speaking, the males tend to be slightly more tolerant of their cubs than they are of the lionesses that have mothered them. The lionesses have taken a quick break. They've gone down to the banks of the Mara River, been chased by a hippopotamus and a crocodile, and now are resting before they go off in search of their breakfast. But remember, this is live and our lionesses haven't eaten, so absolutely anything can happen. There are wildebeest all around us making their way towards the crossings, and it could unfold in the most unexpected of ways. Now, don't forget to send through your question on hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. We're afforded the most extraordinary opportunities to follow these massive predators out during the night, which gives us a chance to see things perhaps never before seen. And someone who's experienced an equally amazing moment is Scott.
So, things are looking up here. These two individuals have got their ears pointed in the direction of what sounds like quite a large herd of wildebeest that's actually approaching where these cheetah are. I'm guessing maybe half a mile away, not too far. So let's hope these wildebeest keep coming, and I'm sure that will entice these 5 killing machines into action. Now, the individual with his head up, you may have noticed had a small collar on him. He is the leader of this pack or coalition. And once he gets up and moving, the rest will follow. So fingers crossed that he's going to get the boys up and moving. And you may be wondering why he has that collar on. It's for research purposes. There's multiple cheetah researchers that follow the movements of the cheetah in the Mara, and we're going to team up with them in the coming weeks and months and help understand these animals better. Hello, John. You're wondering how exactly these boys go about their hunting and whether it's coordinated. And yes, it is coordinated, and it's led, like I said, by the individual with his head up now. So what he likes to do is he likes to lead the charge, and the others come in and assist him. What we noticed yesterday is there's two different types of hunts. The initial hunt, they were actually acting like dogs. They went in and worked a herd of wildebeest, all 5 of them, pushing them, chasing them, looking for weaknesses, until eventually they found one little weakness and they took that down within seconds. So once the initial cheetah gets on the back of a wildebeest or latches onto one, the other 4 come charging in to assist. There's definitely going to be some awesome hunting with these guys, and I'm hoping it's going to happen this morning. However, the good news is we got to see these guys in action yesterday, and James is going to let you know a little bit more about that.
It was an astonishing experience to watch these 5 cheetah hunting yesterday. I've never seen it before. What we have here is a sort of play-by-play of how it went down. We're going to call this the collared cheetah. You can see him there. He has no collar, but that's okay. And then we've had to sort of, well, bring in some lions to help, because we didn't think we'd ever see 5 cheetah, but now we have. Now what he did, as Scott said, he led the hunt, and the wildebeest was standing in a defensive phalanx like they are now. Completely safe, all the young ones in the middle, and these very clever cheetah then got in amongst them. The big male with the collar went round one side, and then his brothers and cohorts moved in amongst, and suddenly there was complete chaos. Everyone was moving around like this. The cheetah were moving around them, and as Scott says, they were working the herd until eventually they separated a youngster and they took him down. Take a look at how it unfolded. There you can see one of the biggest cheetah there, initiated the hunt, and then they got in amongst this herd, and you can see total chaos there. Cheetah running everywhere, wildebeest running anywhere. Eventually they grabbed the 7-month-old and seemed to struggle actually to take it down. They're not strong like leopard, hyena and lions, and so there needed to be a bit of a wrestle. Inevitably, pilfering scavenger arrived, and he displaced them from the kill, but it takes a lot to feed 5 hungry hunters. Now again, this hunt was led by the large, and need I say, speedy collared male, and again the youngster was separated from the herd. The antelope had no chance in the chase, but he gave a good fight in the wrestle before reinforcements arrived. Now this is a fearsome fighting unit, and it's going to take some toll on this migrating herd as they come up into this area. So the migrating herds are not very close to this area at the moment. They are coming up. There are wildebeest around, and as Scott said, he can hear them coming towards the cheetah. So with any luck, they'll get up and hunt as dawn breaks. Let's head back out to some bigger cats.
From spotted cats to tawny cats, and definitely no sign of any wildebeest here, look who has just showed up. I imagine, much to the disappointment of the females. They thought they'd managed to ditch them, but unfortunately not. For the lionesses, the Notch boys have arrived. So this is one of the Notch males, one of 2 remaining Notch boys of the world-famous coalition. And these are the male lions that were responsible for stealing the female's kill last night. And I didn't even tell you about what happened with the lionesses fighting off the males. I think they already knew that they were about to lose their meal, and that put them in a rather bad mood. Now, Jess, you would like to know, and thank you for sending through your question, Jess. Jess, you'd like to know how long a lion can go without eating. Actually, quite a long time. However, remember that as soon as they sort of get weak, and as soon as they struggle, and as soon as they start to get a bit thin, it becomes harder and harder for them to hunt. Every single hunt expends valuable energy, which means that they have to be successful. So you're looking at a couple of weeks, but once they're...
Now, sorry about that again, everybody. We are right on the river here. That's where Jamie is sitting. She's with the Notch boys there. And I think I'll just quickly reintroduce you to them if I can. Is it possible to go across over here? I know the light is not fantastic, but there, how's that? That's what's called very fast moving. All right. Now, Jennifer, you said you thought that our story was a drama. Thank you for getting hold of us. Hashtag Safari Live. Here are the Notch boys. We have Caesar, who is missing his top right canine. And then we have, well, the rather unimaginatively named Notch number 2. Anyway, Notch 2 and Caesar are the 2 lions that you've met there. They've been around the Purungut Pride. That is the lions that they've displaced off their kill. We'll introduce you to some of them a little bit later. All right, we're about to go to a short break. When you come back, I hope those cheetahs are going to get up and hunt. It's going to be spectacular. Hello everybody on the internet. I'm just going to take a brief respite here. I'm also going to introduce you to my friend under the table who made his first debut on world television today. There he is. That's Eggsy, everybody. He's helping us with some lighting and, well, he's making the odd cameo appearance. I think we might have to give him some sort of costume.
I think he wants your job, Jack.
I think he wants my job too. Certainly he's appeared more often than I have tonight. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, let's have a look at the map again, if you like. There's some area stuff here that is quite difficult. There's difficult signal problems. We've got repeaters up over here on this escarpment. Is what my throat keeps. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, let's have a look at the map again, if you like. There's some area stuff here that is quite difficult. There's difficult signal problems. We've got repeaters up over here on this escarpment. Is what my throat keeps in. Another feed if we can find some signal with it, and then herd CUC. Set up for herd CUC here. Herd roll-in, I can probably be sitting on my chair perhaps. Yeah, that's cool. Everything's fine. How much longer? We might come out, hey? We might come out. Time check?
It's 1:34.
No, I want from Kirst. Kirst, time check. Okay, might come out with us. We go to herd roll-in, right?
Go. Stand up opposite H10 house.
H10.
DC house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then herd roll-in, Kirst. Okay, we're going to go straight to the herd roll-in. Welcome back, everybody, to your live safari from the Migration Control Room here, set in the Masai Mara in beautiful Kenya. One of the central migration characters, of course, in fact, probably the central migration character, are the herds of wildebeest that come up from Tanzania into this area at this time of the year. Let's take a look at the adventures they undergo.
Every year, the red oak grass plains of the Masai Mara sway in anticipation. Around 2 million grazers are about to arrive to feast on nature's bounty. They come in search of food and water, all the way from the southern plains of the Serengeti. Hundreds of thousands of wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle follow the cracking African thunderstorms at green pastures and fill rivers. Zebra lead the herds, eating the longer grass and exposing the shorter shoots for the wildebeest behind. But all face the ultimate migration gauntlet, the Mara River. Beneath the murky surface lurk enormous crocodiles. They've been waiting 9 months for the migration feast. Their herds know the danger, but the call for food is too great. All must take the plunge. Not all will make it. For those that do, hungry lion prides patrol the banks. Survivors will enjoy feeding on tall grass before crossing the river again and again as they follow the storms for nourishment.
Welcome back to Safari Live Migration. Oh, there's a hyena in the bottom of the screen. That's just a pleasant surprise. And who knows, maybe it's got wind of these cheetah. And if I was a hyena, I would certainly be following closely on the trail of these 5 boys, because if there was ever going to be a group of predators that successfully bring down some prey, it's these guys. They are maestros at what they do, and it's not the only hyena. There's another hyena that was lurking in the grass not too far away. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is still there. It's just popped its head up. There we go. So, doing what hyenas are quite well known for, lurking around apex predators in the hope that they could steal a meal. And like I said, this hyena, as well as any others that follow these cheetah, are on the right path for an easy meal. Speaking of meals, you saw a mass of wildebeest up on the hills not far from us, and the migratory herds pushing to the north into Kenya are being led by these front runners. Further north of us, there's not too many wildebeest, so these cheetah have got themselves into a very, very good position. There is prey everywhere. Look at that abundance. Hundreds and hundreds of wildebeest. And let's hope in the near future these cheetah get up and decide to go and try and take one of these beasts down. Well, it sure is a beautiful morning in the Masai Mara in Kenya. And Julia in Orlando, it's great to have you with us. You're interested to know if cheetah will hunt more during the day or if they actually hunt at night. And to be honest, not many people have documented cheetah hunting at night, whereas we have already, in the short time that we've been following them with the infrared cameras, with the FLIR cameras, we have got some incredible insight into how these animals hunt. And just last night they did opportunistically take down a young Thompson's gazelle. How intensely they were hunting, I cannot be certain, but they did bring one down, and I'm sure in the coming weeks we are going to capture some incredible moments of these boys hunting. Another thing to bear in mind at the moment, Julia, is that it's a new moon, so it's pitch black at dark, whereas when there's a full moon, there'll be a lot more ambient light for cheetah to use when hunting. But there are a lot of myths regarding these animals and whether they hunt at night or not. And you, along with us, are thankfully in the front row seats to see what happens with these infrared cameras after dark. Okay, we're going to send you off into another part of the Mara for some more action.
Well, we're a little bit further to the south of Scott, and everything has changed here. This big male ran in and chased the girls away.
Or not, and you, along with us, are thankfully in the front row seats to see what happens with these infrared cameras after dark. Okay, we're going to send you off into another part of the Mara for some more action.
Well, we're a little bit further to the south of Scott, and everything has changed here. This big male ran in and chased the girls away. And when they finally succeeded, 80% of their hard-earned prize was stolen by the king. Now, there's definitely a reason they call a little bit of a greedy guts who takes the lion's share, and he has definitely taken the lion's share. Remember, this is live, and we cannot predict what's going to happen next, and it has been really, really exciting. Now, he's going to keep eating here. One of the lionesses ran off that way. The young male and the other lioness ran off behind us. So they could hunt again, and that is what's amazing. And there's so many wildebeest around us. I'm just going to keep quiet. Now, as you saw on our little clip earlier of the thermal flare at night,
Sorry about that again, everybody. Brent will probably have to move fairly soon. Now, you saw all of those wildebeest with Scott. Let us clear away a few of our characters here. The only reason I did that is because I really wanted. There we have now. Then there's another smaller grouping that's come up into the area that we call the triangle. You can see why it's called the triangle. It is because it is everybody together a triangle. Correct. Well done. Good. Now, what we did was we saw these wildebeest crossing the river here. Take a look at what it looked like. There we have them eating grass. Looks like the grass is the same on both sides to me. And down the perilous bank. Now, while the bank is perilous here, there seem to be very few crocs. So we watched about 1,000 of them crossing the river safely. But then, a day later, this flotilla of corpses came floating down. Now, what happened to them? We don't know. Perhaps the herd was stampeded while they were crossing, and that resulted in that whole lot of drowning. Really kind of morbid scene there. And that took place over there, and they were just sort of floating down back to Tanzania from whence they had come. Then we came up to the north. Now, There are 3 or 4 crossings in this area, and we call them the northern crossings collectively. Yesterday, we saw a whole lot of wildebeest massing for the very first time at the northern crossings, but before that, different crossing, much shallower, much better for crossing, but for youngsters, they're always vulnerable, and of course, well, the crocodiles during the migration seldom go hungry. So that's what happened there. Now, the grasses are being eaten there. There's very little grass in this area here. There's a lot of grass up in the triangle. We think the herds are moving up towards this area and that we're going to be in for some serious crossing action, if not, well, in the next hour or so during this week. Let's head back out to Jamie in amongst the herds.
Speaking about long grass and the fact that there is a lot of grass that has been eaten, there's still plenty of cover for this lioness. And look at this. A small herd of wildebeest have just come wandering over the ridge towards the river, and our lionesses have spotted them. And off goes one of them, moving around to cut them off. She knows that their instinct is driving them towards the river, and she's going to make her way ahead of them. And this is what's so extraordinary about this migration, is, I don't know, spectacle, is the fact that there is always something going on, no matter what time of day. The sun is rising, it's getting lighter, although the morning chill still hangs over the Mara River, and our lioness is up. Now, we need to move, I think. Let's get a little bit closer, because once she goes, and she is going to go, it's going to happen very, very quickly. So hold on, everybody. This lioness is going to hunt those wildebeest. The second lioness is moving along to the right, and we'll show you her in a moment. Hold on, this is a bit bumpy. There we go. Well, the second lioness is moving around in this direction. And it's extraordinary watching these predators hunt. The way that they have everything instinctively planned out, and the way that they work together to ambush. Oh, she's getting close fast. Hold on, everyone, we need to go a bit faster. And while we race towards her, lovely question from Stacey. You want to know, how do the tactics differ between lions and cheetah? Well, essentially they are both ambush predators, so they will try and sneak up as close as possible. Lions are not as fast as cheetah, but they do have slightly more stamina, so they don't have to get as close, and they work together very, very well as a team. Just hold on, everyone, I promise you it'll be worth it. We just got to get ourselves into the right place. Now, making sure to keep plenty of distance between us and her so that we don't in any way disturb what it is that she's trying to do. But once the hunt happens, it happens very, very quickly. And if you blink, you could miss it. Okay, let's stop here. Watch this. Look how she's using the grass for cover, sneaking forward. She needs to get closer. What struck me last night in the heat of the moment and the chaos of the hunt that we experienced was the sheer speed of both the wildebeest and the lions. I mean, I know academically in my own mind how fast they can run, but watching them sprint fast past us and the sheer acceleration as the wildebeest realized that the lionesses were right at their heels absolutely blew my mind. And I think that's something you're about to witness here. She's going forward again. Underneath the pinkening sky, there's just a little bit of a breeze, and the whole place smells like grass and wildebeest, which is kind of similar to a cow smell, but more leathery. There she goes. The wildebeest haven't realized. I think they're aware of something. Now remember, the migration doesn't happen in one big herd. You get several large herds and then a couple of smaller ones. This is a smaller herd, which for her might mean that she has to work a little bit harder because there's not as many options. Looking intently. Where's the other lioness? I can't see her. Lovely question. Thank you, Natalia. You want to know if wildebeest are a common meal for the predators of the Mara? Absolutely they are, especially at this time of year where they are essentially, for the larger predators, they make up a very important staple part of their diet and the main part of their diet during the migration. It's entirely possible for lionesses or male lions to kill 1, 2, 3, even 4 wildebeest in one hunt, depending on how many of them there are. All I can hope is if she is successful, if she does manage to get this wildebeest, that the male lions will let her feed this time around. She's not starving yet. The migration has been good to this lion pride, but the migration is all but gone. They've moved away to the north. Here she goes, creeping forward. Now all you can see is really the tips, black tips of her ears. Oh, don't start roaring now, male lions. That would be hugely inconvenient. I just heard a soft call from behind me. She's now maybe about 90 feet away, possibly a little bit more. She needs to get closer. And if they see her now, they're going to go sprinting over the ridge. Their instinct is driving them towards the river. They need to come in this direction, just like all of the other wildebeest. Thank you, Melissa. You want to know why don't the male lions... Oh, sorry, Clarissa. My apologies. Clarissa, you want to know why it is that the males don't hunt with or help with the hunting. They do, actually, especially where there's large animals concerned. However, I can easily see, having watched their behavior last night, how the myth arose that male lions can't hunt. They can. They absolutely can. It's just that if there's food available, it's easier for them to simply take it from the females. She's going to go around that way. The wildebeest have changed direction. She has to change her tactics. Although the lionesses work hard to keep themselves fed, to keep their cubs fed, remember, male lions do too. They expend a huge amount of energy patrolling a territory. So it's not that they're lazy or don't want to do anything. It's just different approaches. The wildebeest have got their head down, busy mowing the lawn some more, reducing the lionesses' cover one blade of grass at a time. Isn't this extraordinary? Remember, #SafariLive on Twitter. All of this is happening at around about 20 to 7 here in the morning in Kenya. How does this make you feel? That sense of anticipation. One word, and one word only. If you had to sum up the feelings that a hunt like this inspires, and you can send one word through on #SafariLive on Twitter. What's mine going to be if I had to choose one word? Heart pounding? Is heart pounding one word? Can we make it one word? Let's go with one word, because my heart is certainly pounding. And I feel like all of my muscles are bunched tensely and kind of in sympathy with her. Everything turns on. She could step on a stick, and the wildebeest could hear her coming, and off they go, and that's the end of it. She's all on her own. I can't see the other lionesses coming up to support her. I noticed one lioness in particular didn't manage to get anything to eat, and she was looking hungry. Perhaps this is her. There she goes. Look at that. Now, Exquisite Bliss, you want to know, do the wildebeest not smell the lioness? The wind is actually working really well in her favor. You can see the grass moving a little bit. It's blowing her scent towards the river rather than towards the wildebeest. So a very, very good question, Exquisite Bliss. Yes, wildebeest can smell lions, but remember, a lot of the time that doesn't mean that they can pinpoint where the lions are. Imagine how terrifying. I mean, we've been talking about things from the lion's perspective. Imagine how terrifying it must be being a wildebeest, smelling a lion, and not knowing where they are. And I saw the panic in those wildebeest last night in the dark, stampeding in every direction. They just didn't know where to go. The lions know how to work that to their advantage. But imagine being a wildebeest walking through this long grass, smelling a lion, but not knowing where it is. She's chosen her spot well, right between the wildebeest and the river. It's too soon for her to make her move. And everything in a lion hunt hinges on the correct balance between patience and an explosion of power. She can't go too soon or they'll run away. She can't leave it too late or they'll see her. It's a balance that isn't all that easy to get right. And remember last week watching those young lions hunting, they didn't quite get the right balance there. They either went too soon or left it too late. These lionesses are much more experienced than the young Sala's lions. The wildebeest are getting closer to her. She doesn't even have to work. She just has to wait. You can see she's dropped her head down. She doesn't want to be seen by the wildebeest yet. Several times before, I've been in a situation like this with hunting lions, and I've thought it's only one or two, and the rest of them have managed to evade my sight and sneak around. So it could actually be that a lion could come bursting out. Now, Chris, your one-word tweet, thank you for sending that through. Oh, look at this, she's invisible. Chris says his one word is anxious. Oh, sorry, Chris. Your word, her word, is anxious. I'm anxious too. A hunt is always a scary thing. Oh, they're getting so close. So close. And we're going to have to be taking a short break very, very soon. Don't go anywhere to find out what happens with this lioness. She's going to come exploding out of the grass very shortly. So definitely don't go anywhere. Oh, for those of you watching on the internet, you don't have to miss a moment. I can't even see this lioness, but she must be so close to them. Any moment now, she's going to come out. There's only a couple of them. Oh, that wildebeest is walking right towards her. I think he's realized. Oh, no. Now they're walking towards the rest of the pride. Where's she gone? That guy's not having any of it. He's out of there. I think he smelt something. Where'd she go? I can't see her. She's vanished into the grass. The wildebeest have walked right past where she was. I think she's a little bit further towards us, which is why she hasn't come dashing out yet. And maybe she's waiting for the wildebeest to turn their back on her. That's what I saw them doing yesterday with the buffalo that they were hunting. It's been a long few hours with these lions. They've kept us very entertained. Oh, I can see her there, Dave. I can. I think her head's just popped out. I see why she didn't go for them. She's actually closer. She's waiting for them to turn their backs, but now they're going in the direction of the rest of the pride. This poor wildebeest. I drove past over the Mara River 2 days ago, and the floating wildebeest carcasses, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Scores of them. Madam, did you just miss your opportunity? Or do you know something I don't? Like the fact that there's another lioness somewhere? Yes. There goes breakfast. What fascinated me last night while I was with these lions, well, actually the night before as well, I ended up yesterday morning, I have to try and keep my timeline straight. Yesterday morning, I ended up on the top of Lookout Hill, which is quite a high point out here, with the lions, and they were watching a herd of wildebeest. And when I returned yesterday afternoon, they were still at the top of the hill, still watching that herd of wildebeest. And last night, they walked straight to them. It's amazing the amount of forethought that goes into where they're going to go and what they're going to hunt. These wildebeest are coming back towards us. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to reposition now. What I want to make sure I don't do, although these wildebeest are very relaxed with vehicles, is just make sure that we don't in any way scare them, which wouldn't be very helpful for the lions at all. So, Dave, if I put myself here, you can still see the lion there. Yeah, and the wildebeest. And the males watching, the cubs watching, all down below. I'm trying to do a head count or see if I've missed a lioness somewhere. Oh, she been spotted? Let's see. Oh, I can hear some zebra coming as well. Maybe she's waiting for a better opportunity. She could well know something I don't. Like perhaps there's several thousand more on their way over the ridge. Her hearing's... Oh, look at this. Oh, girl, I think you rushed it. I think that wildebeest saw you. Definitely looking anxious, the leader. Lions on either side of the Mara River and crocodiles in the middle. Hardly seems fair, does it? What a gauntlet to run. But I've been chatting to one of the rangers, Dennis, and he tells me that a pride in this area, a couple of months ago, their cubs actually were so ill and a couple of them died due to a lack of food availability. So the migration brings much needed sustenance to the predators. Can you see the focus in her body? I have to confess, I thought for 1 minute, since we're in our internet ad break, television ad break for the people watching on TV, I really thought she was going to go for it in the middle of this ad break. She hasn't, though. Poised and frozen, it's like she's waiting. She obviously isn't, but I'm very grateful to her regardless. And welcome back live to the Masai Mara at the break of dawn, where just a few minutes ago we left you on the cliffhanger with the lioness hunting a herd of zebra. Just to quickly update you as to what's happened, the answer is nothing. I thought she was going to go for them. She's still going to think about it. She's watching one go now. There's one. Oh, that one's cantering down towards the rest of the lions. Perhaps she's panicked them enough that they're going to go racing into the rest of the pride. Now, she slightly miscalculated the route that the wildebeest were going to take. Oh, it's all action at the moment. Let's go over to Scott.
Look at this. There's a whole clan of hyena that's come upon the dominant male cheetah. He's standing the ground. The other cheetah have moved off beyond it. And isn't this fascinating? Now, a cheetah's far more slight than these hyena, and even a one-on-one battle, cheetah wouldn't stand their ground. However, it shows how confident this male is. He's standing up to about 5 or 6 of them, snarling in disgust, and it looks like the hyena are now moving on to the other cheetah. They're going to be chasing where have they gone? Who knows where they're heading off to? The other 3 cheetah are off to their left. There we go. And exciting stuff. Jamie's lions are hunting. Our cheetahs are up on the move. There's action unfolding everywhere in the Mara. Absolutely awesome. Now, Courtney, you ask a good question. You're interested to know what is the likelihood of these cheetah hunting with so many hyena around, knowing that the hyena will be able to steal their meal. Only time will tell. And because there's so many opportunities at the moment, these cheetah will take an opportunity regardless of if there are hyena around. It's what happens thereafter that will be interesting. Hot air balloons enjoying the scenery from the air. It's all happening. We're going to rush you back to Jamie and the lioness that are hunting.
The lioness is on the move. She's closing the distance very, very quickly between herself and the rest of the wildebeest, and I think she's planned it this way. As the sun is coming up, she's going to try and block them from going back over the ridge, and if they do run, if they do see her, she's going to chase them straight towards the rest of the pride. It's hard to know where to look. One wildebeest has moved towards the male lion, but the male lion's just sort of sitting there, and I think we should keep an eye on... There we go. There's the male on the left, the wildebeest on the right. I don't know where to look. All right, let's go back and find that female. Oh, I hear a wildebeest snorting in alarm. I feel like I need eyes in the back of my head, or at least on the side of my head, which is, of course, the logic behind the eye positioning on the wildebeest. Don't forget your one-word tweet, #SafariLive on Twitter. There she goes. Body low to the ground. Imagine the muscles working to hold her weight like that. Oh, she's getting close. The wildebeest have made a mistake. They've put their heads down. She's got the advantage of the long grass. Oh, one of them's heard her. But of course grasses rustle all the time. How to know if it's a lion or if it's just the wind? No, dismissed. Not concerned. There is a youngster with them. She is hunting on her own. Nino, tension? Well, I couldn't have put it better myself. That's Nino's one-word tweet. And of course, I wouldn't be anywhere else in the world but sharing this incredible experience with all of you. There's no joy in watching something lose its life, but there is something exceptionally humbling in watching the struggle of life and death out here. A battle that's been raged for centuries. Obviously, you can see there's another vehicle in the shot. There are tourists that come to visit the park, and of course, with tourists come huge amounts of very valuable money that goes towards conservation. The wildebeest are off, trotting off towards the river and straight towards the rest of the lions. The lioness has been foiled, but the rest of the pride awaits. Cantering down, will they spot the rest of the lions? And as you can see, there's balloons up in the air as well, which is of course something that you've got to look forward to. Speaking of that, let's send you up into the sky so that you can view this extraordinary place from the air.
There we are in the balloon, everybody, floating above this wondrous landscape. What an astonishing view we had there of the lioness on the hunt. Very clever lady indeed, and I'm sure she's going to eat sometime soon. Now, a much more peaceful scene here, of course. We're floating almost completely silently, only at this stage about 20 feet off the ground. The balloons do go up to about 1,000 feet every so often, but now we're just gently floating over the grasslands, and you can see how rich this area is. No gaps between the grass tufts. And very soon, this is going to have those enormous herds of wildebeest. This is the area that I said I thought the wildebeest were going to come into. You can see the greenery there in the background, definitely going to be extremely attractive to the herds of wildebeest, zebra and Thompson's gazelles of the great wildebeest migration. Now we're heading towards the river, and we're going to go over the riparian forest there, and apparently there is a lioness. 3 lionesses. Wow, that is spectacular stuff. Now this is a totally transient experience on the balloon. We can't stop it. We cannot pause with them. Look, they've been in the mud, perhaps just crossed the river. They're not afraid to cross the river, and I suspect this is one of the most famous prides of the Masai Mara. That is the Paradise Pride. And they ply their trade on either side of the river at the crossings, waiting for exhausted antelope or zebra to come out of the river, and then they smash them. And that's what they do. You can see they have definitely just crossed the river. Look at their muddy feet. They won't like that, being cats, and they'll clean them off, certainly as the heat of the day starts to build. That is a truly spectacular scene there. The Paradise Pride on the prowl in the Masai Mara from the air. Isn't that great? Oh, that's very special indeed. Now, like I say, totally transient, which means we cannot stop the balloon. We're now going to go over the trees and over the river. What a spectacular experience we're having out here. A slightly ropey start, but now everything is marvelous. Now, my name is James Hendry, and you might be wondering why on earth I have got two sort of neat holes in the front of my face. Well, I'll tell you shortly. We're going to play a game called Face Off between two of the favorite characters that we have here. We've seen them both, hyena and cheetah. Before we do that, I'm going to let you know that I had a game of face-off this week with a bungee cord. And we know from the look of my forehead who won that one. Good. Now I'm going to ask you, who of these two, using the hashtag Safari Live, please let us know who you think is going to eat more wildebeest meat while the migration is in town, the hyenas or the cheetahs? I have an idea. You tell us on hashtag Safari Live. And that is a game called Face Off. Now, let's head straight back to the hyenas and the cheetahs facing off.
Well, perfect timing to come back. This hyena is lurking around. The cheetah have just scent marked against that tree, and it's incredible how hyenas use their sense of smell to track down animals like cheetah and lion and leopard, knowing that there could be an easy meal nearby. This cheetah's not enjoying the presence of hyena. And let's take a quick look to the right, Jandre. There's all kinds of action happening. There's hyena coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think about 6 or 7 of them all coming in, and it looks like they're going to push these cheetah. So we're in luck. They're on the move. The cheetah are wanting to get out of here as quickly as possible. They're slinking off. They don't want to be followed by all these hyena, because they know that if they are successful in making a kill, which I'm certain they're going to be, they don't want these hyena to be nearby. Okay, Jandre, let's flip over to the left. All the cheetah are on the move. Now, it's great to have you guys with me. For any of you who may have joined the safari recently, my name is Scott, and we've got 5 male cheetahs on the move. It's a very formidable coalition, and I'm just going to stop here and give you an idea of what they are heading towards. There's food scattered across these plains, and they are heading straight towards them. That's the dominant male. We're going to rely on him to spearhead the hunt. Let's have a quick look to the left, Jandre. Sorry, there's so much action happening here. There's hyena coming in, and Jandre, if we keep on the dominant male, I think he's going to be the one that stands up to them the most. Let's see what happens here. He, about 10 minutes ago, stood back while the rest of the coalition moved on, and he faced up to about 4 or 5 hyena. You can see him hissing and snarling now. He's not impressed. Open up to the left, Jandre. There's some more, quite a few coming from the left. There we go. Look at all of these hyena coming in. Tails raised. There's at least about 10 that I can see coming in still. And if we're lucky, we're going to hear them whooping and cackling. These are the spotted hyena, also known as the laughing hyena. And they are notorious for giving other predators a hard time. They can hunt for themselves. It's important to say that. Give them credit where it's due. But they also know that there's an easy meal lurking with these 5 cheetah around. Absolutely fascinating scenes. To the right, Jandre. Now, because there's no meat around, I'm not expecting any huge confrontations. These hyena are just making sure there's not an easy meal, but we never know what may happen. These cheetah may chase the hyena may chase the cheetah. They are rallying troops. This is absolutely awesome. Hello, wannabe on safari. Good to have you with us. You're interested to know if it's unusual for cheetah to hunt in coalitions, and it is. To have a coalition this big is unusual. It's not normal to have about as many as 5 cheetah together, but they are one species that will form coalitions. It's only the males that team up, not the females. And we certainly can consider ourselves very, very fortunate to have a coalition of 5 male cheetah that we can follow and get to understand and see them hunting. Now, these hyena are definitely throwing a bit of a curveball in for these cheetah. I think the cheetah were interested in moving towards these wildebeests, but now they know that whatever hunting attempts they make, they are going to be hounded by these hyena. Beautiful, the morning light now catching these cheetah, and again, it's the dominant male that's standing up to them. We know it's him because he does have a collar on, so he's easily distinguishable from the others. Incredible stuff. We're getting showcased multiple apex predators from the Mara, lions, hyenas, cheetah, even lions from the balloon earlier. I'm very jealous that you guys got an aerial view. And what a wonderful experience that must have been. Now, Davina, you're interested to know that if things did heat up here, will these hyena possibly kill cheetah? And yes, they certainly will. It has been documented in the past, but it's usually going to be in a more confrontational situation where there's meat to lose, or possibly when a mother cheetah is trying to defend her cubs. But right now, I would be surprised if there was any bloodshed between these two species, because there's nothing to lose. Or nothing to gain, rather, and everything to lose. If there was meat on the table, it would be a very, very different scenario. And just yesterday, it was one lucky hyena that managed to steal the remains of a kill from these cheetah, and just last night, another hyena was lucky enough to steal that entire Thompson's gazelle that you saw. Okay, well, I'm hoping that these hyena have had a busy night out and are now heading back to their den, leaving the cheetah in peace, which will hopefully mean the cheetah will get on the move and go and look for a wildebeest for breakfast. Whew, well, that was some really interesting behavior we got to witness, but I'm thankful to see the hyena heading off. You two are going to be heading off. You're going to be heading back up to the migration control with James.
Now, Reed, Alyssa and Mario, you've made me look like something of a fool. You all got it right. You said you thought that the hyena was going to eat more wildebeest than the cheetah. I think pound for pound that is absolutely true. But I guess what might be interesting to you is that of all of the meat that the hyena do eat, most of it is going to drop dead of natural causes. Some 200,000 animals drop dead of old age in this ecosystem every single year. So there's a lot to scavenge, and of course a cheetah doesn't like to scavenge. They like fresh meat. So they will do more hunting probably, but the hyenas, well, there are more of them, aren't there? And they will scavenge very happily the most rancid kind of meat. Right, we're going to take you down to one of those crossing points now via space. Let us go. Now we're going down, as you can see, towards the central feature of this area. That is the Mara River, and there is Dusty Crossing. And at Dusty Crossing, we have one of our very, very favorite characters of the migration. That is, of course, the crocodile. And this crocodile is the favorite villain. Nobody or very few people root for him. We respect him tremendously. But when these crossings begin and the zebra and the wildebeest try desperately to get to the other side, what you find is that everyone starts to root for the antelope or the zebra. Very few root for the villain that is the crocodile. Now, I am vilifying him, but he is a massively, massively important part of this ecosystem, without which, of course, he's a keystone predator, without which he wouldn't exist. Now, another keystone predator, of course, as Amber has pointed out, is the lion. Now, Amber, a lion, you say, would they eat a crocodile? Absolutely they would. Would you fight a crocodile for food? Yes, in fact, it does happen from time to time. I've seen it happen, especially down in South Africa. Here, I think it's unlikely. I think what you'll find is that over here there's so much to eat that there generally isn't a huge amount of fighting that goes on between them. If there's static water, something like a dam, for example, yes, when animals are coming down to drink, often lions will congregate around an area like that and there will be a fight, a tug of war. But I think in an area like this it's probably unlikely, certainly not impossible. Let's go back to the balloon now. There we go. And the Paradise Pride, I'm sure, has conflict with crocodile from time to time. So, Amber, yes, I guess that does happen. Now, we're just going to see if we can't see some other favourite characters, not necessarily migration characters. The hippo, I think they don't like it when the migration comes into town. I think they get, well, the peace of their existence. There's a nice little raft of hippo just passing down below the left-hand side of your screen. They don't like the migration very much, of course, because, well, there's a lot of, well, upheaval when it happens. Now, remember, we are going to name that lioness Sarabi, Tamu, or Jelani when you come back from this short break, and I think those cheetah are still going to be on the hunt. Okay, well done, everybody. We're in the advert break. That was much less frenetic, I think, than the last time round. Good. The sun's come up. Looks very nice. Maybe we can go to the... can we go to the... No, I don't want to tax too many people in the final control. I wonder if we shouldn't go to the balloon, see what's going on there, shall we? No? We can stay here. We must accept that in the final control there is now a huge amount of work going on. They're working, they're doing a lot of stuff. Finger puppets with the sun. What's this, Fergus? Guess what that is?
Duck.
It's a duck, yes. Let's go to the balloon if we can, Kirst. There we go. Some beautiful pods of hippo, which unfortunately did not make an appearance. Ooh, and they're on the northern bank. Oh, there's a buffalo. I thought they were wildebeest. All right, apparently we are... I'll just keep you posted as to what's going on. We'll come out of the advert break with those cheetah. Isn't that just so special, spending time with those cheetah? I can't believe that we've had that luck with them, and I think they're going to become the leading characters in our migration story. Then, and of course, the Angama Pride. Beautiful shots there from Senzo Mkhize, ex-KwaZulu-Natal, enjoying his time in the balloon. He's sitting with Steph today, I think. I think Steph's enjoying himself there as well. Probably giving a little bit of moral support, you know, suspended above this wilderness, unfamiliar. Now we're back into the triangle. And see if we can't spot some elephants or buffalo in and around that area. We're just going to be on this gentle, floating, relaxing balloon shot for the next minute and a half or so. What have we got in there? Not a great deal. I hope that you're all still awake, everyone. I know it's getting very late in the United States, but for those of you not watching in the United States, well, perhaps things are just sort of getting towards afternoon. If you're in Fiji, in Washington, D.C., of course, I can see that it is 12 in the evening. Los Angeles, you're only sitting at 9, so that's not very late at all. You should be awake. South Africa, people will just be getting up. 6. It is Saturday morning, so not as many as normal. In Delhi, of course, it is, well, 10:15 in the morning, and so they'll be going, well, about their busy Delhi business. Sydney, Australia, it's 2:15, heading towards. In the afternoon, they'll be preparing themselves for, well, probably some rugby and cricket watching. And in Hawaii, it's, well, it's 6:15 in the evening. Let's head across to Scott Dyson and find out how the cheetah are doing.
Hello, everyone. What a beautiful scene that is. There's another beautiful scene unfolding just in front of us as these 5 cheetahs start to groom themselves, getting ready for, I'm hoping, some hunting action. Come on, boys. It would be most wonderful to see you up and about, doing your business. And this behavior certainly is indicating that they are getting a little bit restless and preparing for some action. Okay, everyone, we will be rejoining with TV shortly. Welcome back to Safari Live Migration. We are sitting here with 5 male cheetah who appear to be getting ready for business. Grooming is a great sign that cats are preparing themselves for the day ahead. And all of these boys are rolling around, looking a little bit restless. The hyena that were harassing them earlier have moved off. So that's good news, because it means that they're going to be a lot more confident in taking down prey in the knowledge that it will not be stolen. And prey is aplenty. As Jandre zooms out, there are wildebeest scattered far and wide in all these surrounding valleys, not only in that direction, but all around us. Hello, Reed. You're interested to know how many, what is the percentage strike rate of cheetah when hunting? So how often will they actually successfully bring down their prey? Well, it will vary a lot on the individual, and especially if there are 5 of them together like we have here. The fact that we have these 5 boys together increases their chances hugely of bringing down prey. Another thing that we have to bear in mind, Reed, is that the amount of opportunities provided to them will also make a difference. And at the moment, with all this food around, their strike rate is going to be high. So much higher than normal. I'd say on average their strike rate would only be between 10 and 20%. But at the moment, because of all the food around, because of all the easy opportunities, and the fact that there's 5 of them together, I say it would be at least be 1 in 2 hunts will be successful. So if we spend enough time with these boys, they are almost guaranteed to show us some action. And what's also interesting is that because there are 5 of them, they hunt differently to normal cheetah. They take down larger prey. They almost act like lion. Lion will team up to take down large prey like buffalo, which is dangerous. Down fully grown wildebeest, which is dangerous, but they are courageous and bold and fear nothing at this stage. Okay, well, I'm confident that the next time you join us, you're going to see these 5 cheetah pacing through the open grasslands towards some prey. But for now, you're going back up into the air in a balloon.
There we are in the air, everybody. A wonderful shot there from Scott to the balloon, and you can see the herds on their way up here. Apparently those are some elephants we can see in the distance. They, of course, while not a keystone migration species, are a crucial part of this area. Without them, those vast grasslands that you can see there would be much more heavily wooded, and therefore wouldn't be able to support anything like the same number of grazing herbivores that they do. Right, now I just wanted to quickly show you what we have here is a cheetah skull. Now it's a very slight one. I think it was probably a small female when it popped its clogs. It is a replica, but it is a replica of an original cheetah. And I wanted to compare it with the size of the hyena here. And you can see this is probably a very big female hyena, and this a smallish female cheetah. And you can see, I mean, competition-wise, there really is no competition. The musculature on this thing's jaws, absolutely massive. And the cheetah, much more slight. And of course, they have to have a small head because they need to streamline. Everything about this animal is over-specialized for speed. Now, we had the 5 cheetah, we still have the 5 cheetah, but normally they have a much tougher time of things, especially over here during migration season. Have a look.
The cheetah is part of an ancient evolutionary arms race for speed. Despite its place at the pinnacle of nature's sprinters, others hold on to life with more stamina. The grasslands of the Masai Mara are ideal hunting grounds for this spotted cat. There's long grass for cover, open space to run, termite mounds for vantage, and most important, a lot to eat. It begins with a low stalk through the grass. Something is amiss. The cheetah has immense speed, but the gazelle has endurance and agility. The cheetah's skill, combined with the inexperience of the young gazelle, is a lethal combination. When the Great Migration arrives, more dominant predators invade the cheetah's hunting ground. And so, this fragile cat retreats to the periphery.
So things are continuing to look up. One of the cheetahs has decided to start moving, and it looks like the rest are going to follow. We are in business. For those, again, who have just joined, my name is Scott. We are sitting with 5 cheetah. They are absolutely incredible hunters, and if we stick with them for long enough, we are going to see some incredible action. There's prey nearby. I'm just going to reverse the vehicle quickly to keep us in a good spot. We'll just reverse alongside them, keeping you guys with a good view. And this is the moment we've been waiting for. We've been out all night with these animals, making sure that we stay with them when they get on the hunt, and it looks like it's happening now. There's quite a lot of prey over to our right. I'm hoping they head in that direction. Tricky to see when we're moving, but there is prey nearby there. There's prey everywhere, basically, so it just depends on whether these 5 boys want to get into action. It looks like they're going to start off with a bit of rough and tumble here. And a good way to warm up. They can start chasing one another and then move on to bigger, tastier things thereafter. Now, the social interaction between these 5 males is really interesting. There's certainly a hierarchy between them, but they are all incredibly close partners and friends. We're not sure exactly how long they've been together. We are told that one has joined more recently than the others. They are varying ages, and as you can see, they certainly are enjoying this morning and rolling around in this early morning sunlight. Julie, you're interested to know if female cheetah will ever come in to join a coalition, and no, they will not. The only time a cheetah will join a coalition will be when she's in season. And what's interesting is that these 5 males, as friendly as they are with one another now, come time for mating, they will definitely fight with one another to see who can ensure mating rights. Now, I'm going to guess it's the one male with the collar. He's indicated to us that he is the dominant male, but that may change in time, and as years roll by, he may lose dominance and another coalition member may become the king. Okay, well, while these guys decide what to do and get ready for their morning hunt, we are going to send you straight into the migration with Brent.
Well, we're right amongst the migration. The most incredible noise is surrounding us. You can see a few cars on Game Drive in the distance, and you might see the odd balloon floating overhead. But I'm just going to keep quiet for a second so you can hear this cacophony, actually, of noise created by the wildebeest. Now, of course, remember, this is live, and I bet you all know what the wildebeest are saying. Of course, they're saying GNU, 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 GNU. Now, remember, if you want to ask us questions about the migration and the fantastic predators that are here, you can use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. We would absolutely love to hear from you. Now, the reason we're getting all these incredible cheetah and lion sightings is, of course, because of this mass movement of animals. Close on 2 million in total, if you count all the zebra and Thompson's gazelle that move along with the wildebeest. And it is truly one of the most spectacular scenes you can witness in this world. Now, one of the most amazing things for me is because as the wildebeest moved through, a couple of weeks ago, this grass was nearly as tall as my shoulder, and I'm just under 6'4". Now, our kid has got a wonderful question for us. Our kid would like to know, what does red oat grass taste like? Now, of course, I'm not going to choose a dry stalk. I need to find a tasty stalk. So I'm just going to open my door slightly and get a nice green stalk. So we're not going to get out of the car. We don't want to disturb the animals. Hang on. Here we go. Here's a green one there. Now, Let's have a good chew. You know, obviously I can't ruminate like a wildebeest, so I'll just have to chew like a zebra. Get the sideward motion going. Now, it's actually quite nice. So as grass species go, your red oat grass is what you would call a decreaser grass, which actually means it's a really good grass, and it's a very, very high in sugar or carbohydrates. So it's got a wonderful sweet taste to it. And you'll find most of us here at Safari Live will often be chewing on a red oats grass stalk as we drive around exploring this incredible ecosystem. Now, a man who is very good at chewing on grass, but more so chewing the fat, is James Henry. Let's go see what he's chewing on.
I didn't know I was so good at chewing on grass. I am enjoying some delicious red oat grass. My name is James Henry. I too am not a ruminant, nor am I a hindgut fermenter, like many of the zebra are. Now, we're going to play a game called Two Truths and One Lie. What I'm going to do is give you 3 statements, one of which will be a foul and contemptible untruth, and you have to pick which one it is. You answer this by going hashtag Safari Live, answer 1, answer 2, or answer 3. So it's hashtag Safari Live, answer 1, answer 2, or answer 3, depending on which one you think is rubbish. Right, here we go. Today's 2 Truths and One Lie has to do with cheetah. The first one is, cheetah have the highest success rate per chase of any predator in the Mara. Statement number 2. Cheetah are diurnal hunters predominantly. Statement number 3. Female cheetah, much like those males you've just seen, will hunt cooperatively. So those are your 3 cheetah statements: success rate, the diurnal nature of their hunting, and the fact that they might cooperate as females. Answer 1, answer 2, or answer 3 to the hashtag Safari Live. Remember, we are going to name that lioness a little bit later as well. Let's head back now to those male cheetah.
So the cheetah are still deciding what to do and where to go, but they are up and about, so good prospects. I'm guessing this could be a territorial boundary. You can see the one individual sniffing this tree. They have scent marked against the tree. You can see there's quite a few wet patches on it. And possibly there's another male that lurks through this area. I wouldn't like to be him. That is for certain. To come across a coalition of 5 when you are just on your own must be a terrifying prospect. And I think that is why they keep scent marking on this tree, to really lay claim to this territory and to this piece of land. It's also good indications to whichever females pass through that they've got 5 males to choose from. So, not that it really works like that. As I said earlier, these 5 will compete with one another for rights over the female, but it's the fact that they join up as a team that allows them to create this large territory and then cash in on all the females that reside within it. Oh, Jeandre, let's have a quick look at the 2 on the left quickly. They seem to be playing around a little bit. There we go. Let's see what these 2 do next. And some interesting rough and tumble between these guys. And my theory is that they are warming up on one another before they head off and chase more important prey. Hello to Mariah. Great to have you with us. You've noticed those black streaks along the cheetah's face. They are termed tear marks, and it's one of the distinguishing features that is used to compare leopard with cheetah. Leopard lack those tear marks, and they will assist with visuals to some degree because it's very dark on the inside of their eye. It will have some impact on how they see at night, but it's just one of those physiological features that they have adapted with over the years. And the fact that they have the tear mark and the leopard doesn't, yet they are very similar beasts, indicate that it probably doesn't have too much of an impact on their life. Come on, boys. Go and find some food. Now, they did have 2 meals yesterday, and even though they are full-bellied, that's not to say that they will not take an opportunity if it passes by. And I feel that they know that there's no rush, as there's so much prey around at the moment, and they're confident in their hunting abilities, that they are possibly content to wait for an opportunity to stumble upon them. Having said that, though, it looks like some front runners have finally decided to start heading off. There we go. I'm going to reposition quickly, get us closer in on the action. They've been chopping and changing direction. Initially they were heading this way, now they've changed direction. Who knows what it is that's causing this indecisive nature this morning? Possibly the fact that those hyena were giving them trouble a little bit earlier, and they're a little bit concerned as to what to do next. They may have also picked up audio of lion and other predators. Their senses are far better than ours, so that's something that we also need to remember. Okay. Possibly a reason why they aren't sure what to do is that there's simply so many food options around that they are confused as to which ones to focus on. And this is something that will be new to them. It's not always like this. These migratory herds that are surrounding these cheetahs at the moment have only just moved into this area, so they're going to be pleasantly enjoying this change of scenery, as shall you, as we send you back to James in the balloon.
Still floating there above the Masai Mara in Kenya. That's where we find ourselves, which of course is in East Africa, just north of Tanzania. And this whole migration story is it's an international affair, really. It crosses the border between Tanzania and Kenya, and this particular, or shall we say, season of the story is over here in Kenya in the southwestern parts. We have elephant from the balloon. Oh, that's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? I think elephants in the grassland are some of the most peaceful things you can look at, especially from a balloon. And I always like to say that the balloon is floating over the world's most romantic wilderness area. I'm feeling wistful in the dawn light. Now, things are sort of starting to calm down on the Mara floor, except, of course, for the cheetah. This is when they go hunting, which brings me neatly along to 2 truths and 1 lie, which I was comprehensively beaten at yet again. 26% of you said the cheetah are not, in fact, the most successful predators per chase. They are, in fact, the most successful predators per chase. It might not look like it, but because they have to be so careful about their energy consumption, they will only chase when they're fairly sure they're going to catch. So they don't chase nearly as much as lions, wild dogs, or definitely not as hyenas. Only 6% of you said I was talking rubbish when I said they are predominantly diurnal hunters. I'm surprised about that. They do hunt at night. We know that now from those cheetah that we've been following now for 2 nights. We follow them over the rest of the 6 weeks. Remember, this is the second of 7 live migration safaris. So stay with us. We'll learn a lot about these cheetah over that time. And then 68% of you said, of course, that cheetah females do not hunt in coalitions. Very interesting. Complete opposite from lions, where the females form coalitions or prides, and in cheetah it is the total opposite. The males do, the females live complete lives of solitary peace without the attentions of their males, unless they are with children. Good. Well, children or cubs, rather. So that was 2 truths and 1 lie. Thanks for beating me at that. It makes me very upset. I'm going to sulk. While I sulk, go back to the cheetah.
Well, the cheetah again have decided to take it a little bit slowly, but I've just been looking off in the distance. I saw some wildebeest running, and I'm trying to work out what they are running from. It could be that some hyena have managed to successfully bring down some prey. Like I said, they can hunt. I did see 1 or 2 hyena moving through those hills. And who knows, possibly we're going to shoot across there and see if we can't find what they have killed. I'm guessing it's going to be a wildebeest. But for now, some beautiful scenes from the Masai Mara. I'm hoping these boys are going to be up and mobile when you come back from the short break and hunting some wildebeest.
Hello everyone on the internet. That was quite a stressful ad break because I couldn't find the hyena that I'd seen just a few moments before you came to us. So I couldn't direct Jandre in. Where are they hiding? Jandre, just scan those hills there. I saw a whole bunch of hyenas charging into one area, but now I cannot see one. Where have they gone? Huh. Okay, so it's quite a long ad break. So we've got another 4 minutes until we welcome back the TV audience. And I'm just wondering whether I should gamble racing off. Yeah, let's do that. I've found them again now. Let's race off, I think. Kirst, are you happy to me to race off and see some hyena chomping down on something? I can see some hyenas scoffing something in the distance with vultures around them. Do you want me to race there? Okay, copy. Okay, everyone, hold on. Bye-bye. I don't know how long it'll take me to get there, maybe 2 minutes. Look, they're chasing more wildebeest, I think. Can you see those wildebeest running with the two small things behind it? Nice smooth road at least. We got lucky. We just need to find somewhere to cross it. There are some hyena, I think, still chasing wildebeest up ahead, or they may have stopped. Woohoo! Okay, it looks like we've got lucky. There's a crossing point up ahead here. There's a small lugger that we need to get across. The road, where is it? Okay, this isn't exactly it, but it'll do. Oh, false crossing. This is not a crossing. Oh no. Iko na barabara atapita hapa ama ajui? Yeah. Ni mbali. Copy, thanks.
Right, hello everybody. We're back here, not in TV just yet, muting myself, silhouetted, trying to find some migration characters at the river. You might be wondering what this is. Well, I don't know which river. We need to find a crocodile, Kirsten. Hold on, everyone. Oh, we've got 1 minute one only. How are we going to do it in 1 minute one, Kirsten? How are we going to find a crocodile in 1 minute one? I found one there yesterday. Ah, oh, Oh, no, 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 no. I am in control. All right, let's go back to Scott. No, cancel. Don't go back to Scott. Stay here. 30 seconds, 30. There is a crocodile. Brilliant stuff. Main north, sorry, Kirst. Main north.
Can we get a skull? Yeah.
Yes, I do. Stay here. Stay here. Welcome back, everybody, to your live migration safari. I am about to be clutched within the jaws of one of the villains of the migration, as I said. But rather than this rather nasty skull, we have got the real deal. Let's go down to the river. There he is, waiting. And he's waiting at one of the traditional crossing points. So quite apart from just showing you this crocodile, I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to show you what defines a traditional crossing point and why they're relatively easy to predict. Can you see how the bank is not very steep there? So that's one positive, and you can see no grass there from the hoof action of animals there. And also, you can also see that there are rapids, which means there are rocks on the bottom of the ground, which means the animals can push off the ground when they're attacked by the crocodiles. Now, as we look at those hippo, some of them fighting in the background, Vera, you want to know if crocodiles would hunt on the land. They will in extreme circumstances. They're opportunistic, so if something steps upon them, they will snap at it and possibly bite it. But Vera, they're not designed for doing it. They can move quite quickly over short distances on land, but it's unlikely that they will catch a huge amount on the land. They are ambush predators from the water, perfectly designed for doing that. There are thousands of hippopotamus in this river. Isn't that beautiful? And, they've just come into the water, off those grass plains after a night out of wassailing and eating and having a good time, and now they're just sort of winding down. You can see the older, more mature ones, more sleepy. Now, Denise, you're wondering, as we watch the sleeping hippo and the youngsters still playing, you say, do the crocodiles move in for the migration, or are they resident? No, they're almost certainly resident. But what I think you'll find is that you find a lot more crocodile activity around the crossing points during the migration. So I think you'll find that the big crocs come in and sort of set themselves up, like this one has, at the crossing points. And I think the little ones are pushed to the fringes, and they'll go into the much more steeply banked areas where, well, there's just not going to be nearly as much crossing activity. But a crocodile is not a migrator. They can move quite big distances. We hear of them moving overland over 50 kilometers sometimes, which is about 35 miles. So that does happen, but it's unusual. Right, from the sedate and beautifully burbling river that is the Mara, let us head back to the extreme action of the 5 male cheetah.
Well, they finally seem to have got their act together, and it looks like it's time to go and get some breakfast. There are some wildebeest herds that they're heading towards, so wonderful prospects, and at a moment's notice, these guys could change over from a casual stroll through these open grasslands to the fastest thing you will ever see. Blitzing after wildebeest. Come on, guys. There's lots of people that are wishing they get to see you in action. And things are looking up. I temporarily left them for a couple of minutes. I heard some hyena cackling off in a riverbed, raced down and couldn't work out what they were up to. But there is certainly a multitude of action unfolding here, and at some point it's difficult to know where to go and what to do. Brian, you would like to know how fast a cheetah can run, and they've been tracked in at over 100 kilometers an hour, well over 100 kilometers an hour, so the fastest mammal on the planet. And despite their speed, their prey does have a chance of getting away from them because they can zigzag from side to side. The cheetah will almost overtake them in the wrong direction and then have to restart the chase. So that's how their prey manages to throw off the cheetah. Even though they're slower, they can kind of jiggle from side to side, complicating the cheetah's chase. But when there's 5 of them, like we see here, it further complicates the prey's agenda, because if it jinxes from one side to the other, it could go straight into one of the other chasing cheetah. This to me looks like the smallest of the coalition, and I'm fairly confident he is one of the latecomers who joined this coalition quite recently. Cheetah are allowed into established coalitions if they are young enough. They'll probably have a small fight initially to size one another up, but if the youngsters play their cards right like this guy did, he can cash in on being with far more experienced, far bigger cheetah, and it looks like his youthful nature and spirit is leading the older boys towards food. Now, we've been discussing the incredible speeds that they can move at, and Reed would like to know, how long will it take for them to recover after a chase? It depends on how long the chase is, Reed, and also the time of day because of the temperature. The hotter it is in the middle of the day, the quicker the cheetah will tire and the quicker its body will overheat, and that causes them to take a break. So it all depends on the time of day, the length of the chase, but basically a cheetah, if it chases for about 200 or 300 meters, that would be considered a long chase. It will need to rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the time of the day, before its body cools down and before it can have another successful attempt. Okay, we're gonna loop around now and be sure to get into a good spot. We're gonna possibly try and get on the other side of the prey so that we don't interfere in any hunt. There's zebra and wildebeest not far ahead, so things are looking up. We're going to send you quickly back to the migration control while we get into position, but be ready when you get back here for some serious action.
I think there is going to be some action, hopefully within the next 14 minutes. You must also have action at your fingertips in the next 14 minutes. That's all the time there is left to name Ngama female number 3. That will be the last time I can say that. Well, I'll say it once more just before we give her a name. Then we're going to come across the character wall here to the 5 cheetah, which you will notice that there are only 4 of. We don't have a picture of number 5. Here is the leader, as we've called him. He's got a collar, so he's easily recognizable. And apparently, according to Liz, thank you very much, Liz, for sending through this information, he has a name already, and his name is Forrester. I love that because it's not twee at all. I think it's a beautiful name for a cheetah, even though they don't live in forests, really. So Forrester is leading the cheetahs, and I just wanted to show you quickly up at the top here, there is a way that we can identify them other than by the collar, for example. They obviously all have unique spots in the same way that you have unique fingerprints. But there is a spot beneath the eyes, so that there, sorry, let me just take this out. That there is the tear mark. You'll have to excuse my drawing. And that is a line of spots that occurs on all of them. And then in between the two, there is a unique patterning. And I've called them number 2, 3, and 4 for want of better terms. But as we get to know them better over the course of the next 6 weeks, we will definitely, well, first of all, get better pictures of them. We'll put up number 5, and we'll find perhaps a character-filled name that we can give to all 5 of those cheetahs. So that's what's going to happen there. Very exciting indeed. Then I was hoping also that we could do the Purungat Pride today, but I'm afraid we spent too little time with them. I'll just tell you that there are 4 lionesses there, aged between 10, 7, 5, and 2, I think it is. So that's the Purungat Pride. We will get used to them and we'll get to know them a little bit later. Now, of course, one of the favourite migration characters coming up and eating the very shortest grass of all is the Thompson's gazelle.
Well, James is 100% right, and you can see the wildebeest have absolutely annihilated the grass in this area. It was about 6 foot tall less than a month ago, and you can see the hills of the Serengeti in Tanzania down to the south, and in between the Thompson's gazelle in Tanzania is one of the resident species of the Mara, the buffalo, and they also probably not too impressed with the wildebeest to have eaten all the grass. But they'll be moving through, so they will stay here all year, and the lions will have to make do with far more dangerous game during the non-migration season with species like buffalo. But the Thompson's gazelle is the last mover of the migration. Now, you do get resident Thompsons as well, and there's about 200,000 of them that traverse with the migration. Now, they generally come through last because they really, really like this really short grass, and so they wait for the wildebeest to have passed and the zebra to have passed, and they take advantage of the short grass. Now, normally cheetah will hunt Thompson's gazelle as their most favorite prey item. However, if you've got a group of 5 males like Scott has, they're able to take down much bigger prey, which makes them so exciting. Now, yesterday morning I did see a female cheetah in this area, so we decided to have a little perusal here on these lovely short grass plains. Remember, this is 100% live coming from the Masai Mara, and it is just beautiful out here this morning. And you'll hear a vehicle, again another game drive vehicle, passing us, obviously in search of lions and things. Cece says she loves the wagging tails of the Thompson's gazelle. Now, I also do. They're actually one of, I find, probably the most cute animals out here. Now, they've got a very long tail for an animal of that size, and you see it works over time to keep the flies out of the soft areas. And even now that we're probably about 800 meters from the edge of the migration itself, you can still hear them. Now, just quickly before we run across to Scott, there is a vulture on the ground just over there. You see it being beautifully silhouetted. Now, there's another scavenger that sometimes can actually steal a kill from a cheetah. And speaking of cheetah, let's go see Scott's 5 boys, who would definitely see off any vultures.
So these boys are still moving towards some prey. They are moving cautiously, however, and it's important to note that if these guys were to stumble upon lion and even a big male leopard, those lion and leopard will try and kill the cheetah. They are at the bottom of the food chain regarding the big cats in Africa, so they do need to move carefully, and they mustn't get too caught up in just looking at their prey, because they could themselves become prey if they are not careful. So as they approach a little riverbed that you can see just up ahead of them, they're going to be taking their time. They also don't want to blow the hunting opportunity. Many wildebeest and prey up ahead. They seem to be splitting up ever so slightly, and that's a very clever move. If they split up, they increase their chances of chasing prey into one another, creating a state of chaos. And in the next few minutes, that could well happen. Hello to Katie. You've noticed these cheetahs' extra long and big fluffy tails and are wondering, why do they have them? And it helps them to steer when they're moving at their incredibly fast speeds. So it acts as a rudder, and it allows them to bend and weave and turn at top speed to try and help bring down their prey. Now, as you can see, they're lowering their bodies a little bit. They're kind of getting into the stalk mode. There's lots of zebra ahead. I think their favorite food is wildebeest, so I think that's what they'll focus on. Zebra, interestingly enough, can actually chase cheetah, so be ready for that. Zebra can command a little bit of respect from time to time with certain predators. And isn't this an epic scene? 5 hungry male cheetahs heading in to try and get breakfast. Now, I think I'm going to try and reposition one more time. Otherwise, if they do start chasing anything, we're going to be left in a cloud of dust. And we're going to send you back to James to reveal the naming of the new Angama lioness.
Indeed, the revealing of the new Angama lioness name. Here it goes. Are you ready? Now, the 3. Ariel, you suggested Sarabi. Susan, you suggested Tamu. You're going to be disappointed. Mita, aged 8. I picked your one. I promise I did. Jelani, which means mighty. 44% of you said, agreed with Mita that mighty was a good name. I'm afraid 7% of you thought Tamu was a good idea. Sorry about that, Susan. Ariel, you are the victor of the new name for the final final time I'm going to say Ngama female number 3 is Sarabi. There it is, the Mirage. Excellent. Good. Now, remember, we have a few minutes left of this show, but we have another 5 weeks of live migration safari for you. 11 o'clock Eastern Time, PM, Nat Geo Wild. For the next 5 weeks, we'll be taking you on this spectacular journey in the Masai Mara. If you enjoyed this live safari, join us on the internet every single day for 2 live safaris, dawn and dusk from South Africa and from here. You can just search for us on the internet and you'll find a stream that suits you the best. For now, let us head back to the magnificent 5 brothers.
Okay, well, interesting behavior here. They are kind of slinking up towards some zebra and wildebeest. The zebra have seen them, so they've lost the elements of surprise, and I'm not too sure what is going to happen next. You can see all the zebra looking in. Look at all those wildebeest in the background. And I think these cheetahs possibly could be wanting to just simply head down to this little riverbed for a little bit of a drink. There is a small source of water flowing through there, and possibly thereafter they will start hunting more seriously. But for now, it looks like they are just happy to stop, take heed of the situation, and again, like I said, just make sure there's no other predators lurking nearby. They don't want to take any chances. And just like that, things have calmed down. As quickly as things have calmed down, though, they could heat back up again. Oh, look at that. You see, exactly like I said, next thing you know, a hyena pops into the frame. And had that hyena have chased those wildebeest towards the cheetah, it would have been a very, very different scenario right this second. So you do have to be ready for anything on safari. You can be pleasantly surprised or sometimes shocked at what happens. And don't be fooled by the fact that these guys are taking a little bit of a breather now. Well, what a morning it's been. We have been spoilt with some great views of some of the Mara's iconic species, especially the wildebeest, who are beginning to increase in numbers in Kenya. And the following 5 weeks of action that we are going to be sharing with you are going to undoubtedly provide us with some incredible action. We haven't been lucky with the kills yet, but that's going to change, and it's only a matter of time before especially these 5 boys show us their skills. There's so many lying around with so many opportunities that we are going to get you into the right place at the right time within this period. Now, if any of you are interested in following the movements between now and next week, you can at wildsafariLive.com. So that's something that's also worth bearing in mind. We will be out on safari during the week, keeping tabs of these boys and the lions, and of course the migration and the crossings. The river cams are no doubtedly going to bring us a lot of action in the coming weeks, as the wildebeest numbers increase, and so too will the crossings themselves. So the crocodiles are in for a good time, so are the lions, so are these cheetahs. Life is only going to get easier for them, and I guess a little bit more tricky for the wildebeest. There's a lot of hungry mouths waiting here to receive them. Nick, you've noticed that one of the cheetah always seems to hang back. I haven't been able to work out exactly who's who yet and distinguish them. You certainly can. They've all got different spot patterns. I guess maybe he's just feeling a little bit lazy this morning. Or maybe that is a trend. What we have noticed is that one of the males, Forrester, I'm told, he certainly tends to lead the coalition. And possibly another one is the one that brings up the rear, or is a little bit more lazy. It's not dissimilar to Prides of Lion, where you may find 1 or 2 of the younger boys being a little bit more lazy than the rest of the pride. Well, What a morning it's been. It's been great to have you with us on this live interactive safari. For all of those of you who interacted and sent through questions and comments, thank you. And we really look forward to getting to know you guys better in the coming weeks and sharing this incredible African playground with you. It's important to remember that Friday next week, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will be back in the Mara with us. Spread the word, tell your friends. These 5 boys are going to be out and about, and hopefully next time they will be showing you their ability to bring down prey like I have never seen. These 5 boys are quite formidable. It's been great to have you all on Safari Live Migration.